Yung tier 4 and 5, Dayanara, positive
It's a
thing, wala
positive
nang
thing.
NOC, lahat ng no codes pwede.
Yun ang nakakatuwa kasi yun yung kinatatakot ng iba na baka hindi na kami kasama kasi tier 4 or 5 kami. Kumbaga hindi kami priority, ganyan. Kung kayang pumunta sa mas maliit na lugar, Northern Ontario, rural areas, go for it.
Hey guys, here in a nutshell with me, Ina. Ito na ang hinihintay ng mga PR aspirants in Ontario. Meron na pong in-announce tungkol sa unang phase ng OINP overhaul na ilang beses na po natin pinag-usapan dito sa channel. As we have discussed before, inabolish po effective May 30 yung 8 or 9 streams, all 8 or 9 streams under OINP. So ngayon, meron na tayong idea sa isa sa mga bagong streams na magkakaroon. Ang tawag po sa kanya, teka muna, ipasok ko pala muna yung ating guest. Welcome back, Dayanara M. Puerto Bantigue. As always,
Hello!
help us understand kung ano ang magiging bago dito, no? Dayanara's email is the one crawling down there if you wanna get in touch with her. Okay.
Hello po!
If you guys go doon sa OINP updates website, no, i-google ninyo, pupunta kayo dito. Posted June 26, 2026 ang OINP Redesign Phase 1. Okay, so ang tawag dito sa unang bagong stream, Ontario Workforce Priority Stream. Anong bago dito, Dayanara? I'm sure you've already studied ano yung mga nakasulat dito. Kasi I read some observations saying na parang pareho lang naman nung may katulad lang din daw noong nakaraang stream.
Basically the same. Basically, there are certain distinct differences, but what I can say is the first thing I noticed is parang yung dalawang stream na pinakamalaki in a way sa OINP, which is yung foreign worker stream saka yung international student stream, pinagsama nila into one. Which is yun na yung anong tawag doon? Yung tier 0 to 3 category. Pinagsama nila yon. And then yung tier 4 or 5 category, which is yun yung dating in-demand stream. Okay? I think mas madaling i-discuss yung tier 4 to 5 category stream muna. Kasi siya yung pinaka-simple para sa akin. Pinaka-wala masyadong nagbago. Ang tanging pinagbago lang niya, in my opinion, is dati meron lang silang listahan ng mga NOCs na kasama sa in-demand stream. Ngayon, all NOCs kasama. So, they have the freedom to choose any of the 4 or 5 categories for each particular draw. So, ganun siya. Okay? Pero yung tier 0 to 3 category is basically a combination of international student stream and in-demand stream with certain differences sa rules na gagawin nila. So, yun yung pinapansin ko doon sa dalawa. And then, syempre, yung self-employed physician category is unique in itself. Na syempre, para lang yun doon sa mga may license to work as a physician, possibly inside or outside of Canada, as long as they intend to become self-employed pagdating dito. Yun yung isa sa stream na hindi nangangailangan ng employer support. Pero yung 0 to 3 at 4 to 5 category, pareho yan, kailangan ng employer support dyan.
Alright. So, Dayanara already mentioned yung tatlong parang programa under this new Ontario Workforce Priority Stream. Yung tatlo, sige, ililist ko muna para lang clear. Yung Tier 0 to 3 pathway.
Category, yes.
And then Tier 4 and 5.
4 to 5, apo.
And then yung isang pathway for
self-employed physicians. Yes po.
Sige, unahin natin yung sabi mo na might as well pinaka-simpleng maintindihan.
Yes.
Yung tier 4 and 5. Ito po yan, no?
Yes. So yung tier
So,
4 or
ayan.
5, yeah, I mean it's basically the same as in-demand stream. 9 months of experience accumulated over the last 2 years. Minimum of CLB 4. So ibig sabihin pag kumuha po kayo ng CELPIP, walang score na bababa sa 4. At minimum education, kailangan meron kayong equivalent of Canadian Secondary School Diploma. So yung mga katulad ko na graduate sa Pilipinas ng grade 10 lang. So fourth year high school, hindi po tayo makakasama dyan kung hanggang fourth year high school lang talaga. Kailangan at least naka 2 years ka sa college para kapag in-assess ka ng WES or ICAS or ICES, papatak siya na 2 years of, secondary school Canada level. So marami tayong mga kababayan na ganyan, yan ang problema nila. I suggest kung gusto ninyong pumasok sa tier 4 or 5 pathway, kailangan handa kayo dyan sa particular requirement na yan. Kung hindi kayang makuha talaga, hindi kayo nakapag-college or anything, i-search niyo yung mga opportunities sa province kung nasan kayo, o sa Ontario pala, yung tinatawag na CAEC, Canadian Adult Education Credential, baka pwede kayo makapag-exam doon para makakuha kayo ng equivalency ng secondary school at magamit for this particular pathway. But basically, the difference is, hindi na siya katulad ng dati na meron lang mga NOCs pang GTA, may NOCs pang labas ng GTA. Ngayon, parang all NOCs under 4 or 5 can be considered. Meron lang certain advantages kapag ang employer mo ay nasa nasa rural area, for example. Kasi dati po kasi ang requirement for an employer sa Ontario is pag nasa labas ng GTA, $500,000 of annual income. Pag nasa loob ng GTA, 1 million of annual income. This also applies to the tier 0 to 3 category. Ngayon, meron silang kakaibang inilabas, which is yung yung $250,000 annual threshold for employers in primarily smaller rural and remote communities. Meron silang mga nilista po. So for example, yung Ottawa, Hamilton, London, ganyan yung mga medyo malalaking cities pero nasa labas ng GTA, nandun sila sa 500,000 threshold. Ayan, so Thunder Bay kasama doon kasi Thunder Bay kahit sabihin mo nasa Northern Ontario, malaki na siya eh.
Okay.
Malaki na siyang community. So 500,000 ang threshold doon. Pag nasa labas ka nun, nasa labas ka ng GTA, nasa labas ka ng mga malalaking cities na yan, 250,000 may be enough, pero kailangan meron pa rin pong requirement na yung employer mo ay merong at least 3 Canadian citizen na full-time. Full-time po ito, full-time employees. So, yan ang problema ng mga ibang employers eh. May kita sila na 500,000, pero karamihan ng empleyado nila mga temporary workers, kaya hindi sila makatulong. So, para makatulong po ang employer ninyo, depende sa lugar, meron silang income threshold at kailangan at least 3 Canadian citizens or PRs po ang employed nila. Aside from you, natutulungan nila. Apo.
Okay. In a way, parang nagluwag in that sense because there will be more employers who may qualify.
Yes.
Okay, na magsuporta ng mga OINP applicants. Kasi nga guys, yung binabaan nila, yung sinasabi ni Dayanara na revenue, yan yung required revenue, no? From $500,000 dati, $250,000.
250,000.
Ang required. So, baka nga naman, dumami pa yung mga employers na maaari mag-sponsor, kumbaga.
Yung mga maliliit na businesses, maliliit na farms, yan, yung mga maliliit na manufacturing companies, yung mga gumagawa ng mga ganito, ganyan, na maliliit lang, hindi sila masyadong, masyadong established, pwede silang makatulong na this time around, which is great. This is great.
Tapos i-clarify natin, kailangan nasa rural community sila. Tama ba?
Yes po,
Sabi dito, for the
located.
purposes of the program, a rural community is a community located in a census division with a population of less than 150,000.
Yes.
At least it's clear.
Kaya nakasama yung Thunder Bay dun sa 500,000 threshold kasi I think ang population nila is more than 150,000 na. Kahit sabihin natin nasa Northern Ontario siya.
Got it. Okay. Napuntahan natin ang yung tier 0 to 3 pathway naman.
Yes. Ito yung complicated. Ito yung
Okay.
complicated para sa akin. Kasi pinagsama nila yung dalawang pathway, eh. I think they wanna keep it simple, but honestly, it's a bit complicated pa rin for me. Parang
Okay.
para sa akin sana ni-retain na lang nila yung dati. But anyway, um, ang mga requirement niya po ay let me just double check. Andiyan yung summary
Ito.
ano, miss. Can I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
read from it? Okay.
So,
So,
okay.
ayan, 6 months of consecutive. Ito po ay
Yeah.
1. Tatlo yan. Ay, sorry, 4 yan. Yeah, 4. Pero isa lang dyan ang pwede mong maging, kumbaga, ma-achieve mo, pwede ka nang pumasok. Okay? So, either 6 months of consecutive experience in the last 12 months. Okay? Consecutive po ito. So, sunod-sunod na buwan. For recent Ontario graduates, 3 months of cumulative, okay, experience in the last 12 months. Ang pinakaiba nun,
Ano nakasulat
yung
dito, ano?
apo,
3 months consecutive in the last 12 months.
sorry, consecutive pala. Consecutive,
Okay.
I'm so sorry, but cumulative yung nabasa ko. Consecutive in the last 12 months. Dati kasi po, yung OINP4, International Student Stream, wala yan work experience requirement.
I
Wala,
see.
as in kahit fresh grad ka, tinulungan ka, pwede ka nang pumasok. This time, kung recent Ontario graduate ka, kailangan mo na ng at least 3 months of consecutive experience. Isa pang nagbago, miss, is yung definition nila ng recent Ontario graduate. Dati,
Oh,
ang Ontario graduate na recent, meaning yung magka-qualify sa international student stream, kailangan 2 years, within 2 years. So kung December 2024 ka graduate, hanggang December 2026 ka lang
okay.
pwedeng pumasok. This time, binago nila, ginawa nilang 3 years.
Okay. Oh, lumuwag din
Yeah.
kahit papaano in that
Yeah.
regard.
So considered ka as recent Ontario graduate if you have obtained your Ontario credential, whether a diploma or a Ontario graduate certificate, kapag nakagraduate ka within the last 3 years. So, isa yan sa nagluwag. And then the other one is 2 years of cumulative. Ito yung pinakaiba. Kasi yung unang dalawa is consecutive, ito naman cumulative. So, dito ay combination
Mhm.
ng 2 years cumulative in the last 5 years in the NOC occupation. Okay? And then yung isa is licensed applicants are exempt from this requirement. So, ang tanging pwede lang mag-apply kahit walang work experience, okay, with the job
Mhm.
offer employer, ay yung mga either may 2 years ka na cumulative work experience in the same NOC within the last 5 years, or lisensyado ka. So, sino yung mga lisensyado? Yung mga palagay nating nasa trades, yung may mga Red Seal, yung
Mhm.
mga licensed practical nurses, licensed registered nurses, licensed pharmacists, licensed early childhood educators, yung mga nag-aral ng 2 taon, registered social workers, yan, pwede silang pumasok dyan para wala na silang work experience requirement, diretso agad, pwede agad gumawa ng EOI at pwede agad ma-invite.
All right. Okay. Tapos itong sige sa language requirement ayun na yun ano, basta you meet one of these 4,
One of these
kailangan mo yan.
4,
Okay?
yes,
Yung
apo.
sunod language requirement, kailangan CLB 6 or CLB 5 for certain occupations.
For
Ano tong
certain occupations,
meron na ba na-identify? Ano tong certain occupation?
let me just double check
Doctor.
that. Let me just double check. Inano ko yan eh. Parang
Ang binabasa kasi, sige, as Dayanara,
ni-note ko yan.
kasi I think Dayanara is referring to the regulation na talaga. Ito po kasi parang summary itong nakapost dito sa OINP updates. No? Meron na yatang mas specific. May document na nagdi-detail na ng mas specific, no? Sa mga
Apo.
nangyayari. Okay.
So, pag ang applicant na hindi recent Ontario graduate, ang requirement po niya ay CLB 6. So, unless ikaw ay Ontario graduate, which I think allows for CLB 5, kapag Ontario graduate ka, pero kapag hindi ka nag-aral sa Ontario, meaning you're an open work permit holder or a LMIA work permit holder, ganyan, hindi ka recent graduate or sa ibang lugar ka sa Ontario nag-aral, you have to have CLB 6. Ito, unique to. Kasi dati, hindi naman ganito kahigpit eh. Yung requirement for OINP, International Student Stream, saka Foreign Worker Stream. May scoring system lang. Mas mataas ang makukuha mong score pag mataas ang language test mo. Pero this time, explicit sila sa sinasabi nila. You
All
have
right.
to get CLB 6 for
Okay.
most of the occupations, 5 for certain occupations. Isa pa sa unique dito, Miss, is yung minimum education. May
Yeah.
minimum education na ngayon.
Okay.
Dati kasi po, yung OINP Foreign Worker Stream, wala yan education requirement eh. Kahit sabihin natin hindi ka secondary school level ng Canada, pwede kang pumasok. Kasi wala silang binibigay na leverage or anything for education. This time meron.
All
So
right.
ngayon, meron ng minimum education for post-secondary degree or diploma. Again, post-secondary degree or diploma. Hindi po kasama yung mga certificates. It's
Mm.
post-secondary degree or diploma. Yeah,
Okay. Guys, again, this is for the tier 0 to 3 pathway.
pathway. May exemption dito, Miss eh. Meron silang ginawang
Oh, ito,
nakakatuwang exemption dito sa
ito ba yung some occupations may have
opo.
alternate criteria?
Yeah, so
Okay.
for
So, ayan,
example, for example, 'di ba kasi merong requirement na 2 years, 'di ba? 2 years of experience within the last 5 years. So
Mhm.
dati, ang requirement nun ay same NOC. So kung ang NOC mo ay ang gusto mong i-claim na NOC is for a registered nurse.
Mm.
Ay sorry, for PSW 33102. Yan ang gusto mo. Ang requirement is dapat ang experience mo 2 years na nasa PSW. Same NOC. Okay? This time, meron silang ginawang exemption na kapag ang job offer mo ay NOC 33102, pwede mo na ngayon gamitin yung experience mo as a licensed practical nurse kung meron ka sa ibang bansa or sa
Oh, all right.
Canada or registered nurse.
Oh, okay, okay. So that will help those still working on their credentials in a way, right?
Credentials, exactly, yun ang
Oo.
goal. Ang
Yeah.
gusto ng Ontario is yung mga kababayan natin or yung mga nag-a-apply na mga registered nurse or practical nurse sa ibang bansa at ang trabaho nila sa Ontario ay 33102 PSW, which is ang dami, usual yan. Pwede ka nang mag-apply kahit hindi ka pa 2 years as a PSW, basta meron kang previous experience na kaya mong patunayan, so you have documentation na ito ay papasok sa NOC ng practical nurse or registered nurse. Ganon din po sa mga papalagay natin yung mga kababayan nating engineer. Ayan, may
Mhm.
mga kababayan tayong mga civil engineer sa Pilipinas, mechanical engineer sa Saudi, ganyan, na hindi naman agad nakakakuha ng lisensya as engineer dito kasi it takes a while. So,
Right.
pwede nilang gamitin yung kanilang experience as an engineer, ganyan, mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, kung ang trabaho nila dito ay papasok sa sub-major group 223 or 213. Sub-major group 213. So ito yung mga um civil engineer technician, civil engineer technologist, mechanical engineer technician, mechanical engineer technologist. Yan yung mga nasa 213. So let's say ako ay isang civil engineer sa Pilipinas, sa Canada, or sa Ontario, ang trabaho ko ay civil engineer technologist. Kasi syempre, di
Mhm.
man ako pwede agad maging civil engineer. Pwede kong gamitin ngayon yung experience na yun. Yun yung
Oh.
maganda sa ginawa nila. Ganon din yung para sa mga pharmacist. So may mga kababayan tayong pharmacist, may experience sila as pharmacist. Pagdating sa Ontario, ang trabaho nila is pharmacy technical assistants or pharmacy assistants, 33103. Pwede na nila ngayon gamitin yung experience nila before as pharmacist pagka ganun yung job offer na meron sila.
Oh, di
It
ba?
made it made things a lot easier for them, yeah.
Yeah, it means you can get an OINP nomination sooner than before.
Yes, sooner than having to wait 2 years to gain the experience that you need, especially kung hindi ka recent graduate. Or kung graduate ka pero lumagpas ka na sa 3 taon. May
All
mga
right.
ganon. Opo.
Ngayon puntahan natin yung sunod, no? Later on pala, after this last category na self-employed physicians, we will read the portion of this update tungkol dun sa mga nagkaroon ng pending EOI. Alam ko, hindi pa pala nakaka-receive pa rin hanggang ngayon ng notice na i-withdraw yung mga EOIs before na hindi nakakuha ng nomination. Ano? Anyway, sige, puntahan muna natin tong third and last category under the new Ontario workforce priority stream ng self-employed physicians. Yan, maikli lang naman.
Yes.
Okay.
So, ito naman ay unique kasi syempre hindi naman madami yung taong kayang, maka-achieve ng ganito.
Mhm.
But of course, you have to be a member in good standing with the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario. You must hold a valid registration in an eligible class. So it could be independent, academic, or provisional. And you must be eligible to bill through OHIP, which is the Ontario
Mhm.
Health Insurance Plan. No requirement for an employer, syempre, but because it's self-employed physician. So I think what would happen is whoever is interested in this, they could be inside or outside Canada, inside or outside Ontario. They just have to make sure na meron sila nung tatlong requirement na yan at meron silang profile para aware ang Ontario that
Oh,
they exist. Yeah.
parang ang hirap ma-meet nitong category na 'to 'no?
I know.
Self-employed ka. Hindi
Mhm.
kailangan ta's good standing ka sa sa College of Physicians and Surgeons. Ang hirap 'no, parang anyway, I don't know, baka nga naman these people exist ano? Oh,
Baka kasi miss parang meron ka sigurong paraan para makakuha ka ng license from the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario. Knowing, parang for my experience, yung Ontario College of Teachers, kasi doon ako
okey.
nag-apply, meron naman talaga silang provision para sa mga nasa labas ng Canada na makakuha ng license. Kasi may
Okey,
mga nakikilala ako na mga fellow teachers sa Pilipinas na nakakuha sila ng license from OCT kahit wala
yes.
silang status sa Canada. Hindi nga lang nila magamit kasi
Oo,
wala nga
pero
silang status dito.
right,
Yeah,
okey.
pero ngayon kung ikaw ay doktor, let's say sa Pilipinas, at nagtiyaga ka, talagang tsinaga mong kuhanin yung good standing membership sa
Oo,
College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario, nakuha mo yung valid certificate of registration, kunyari, academic, tapos nagpunta ka sa
magpapano ka
OHIP,
pa sa OHIP.
pwede ka na
Oo,
palang
'no?
mag-bill, nakita mo, so kung ano man ang requirement dyan, nakuha mo yung tatlong yan, may pag-asa ka na ngayon na makapasok sa self-employed physician sa OINP kahit wala
Mhm.
kang work experience sa Canada at wala kang
Oo,
employer na tutulong sa'yo,
I see,
pwede kang mag-apply. Ibig sabihin parang ano nila, um, gusto namin kayo. Kung nagawa mo na yung kailangan mong gawin, mag-apply ka, may pag-asa kang mag-land sa Canada as a permanent resident and then begin working as a
alright.
self-employed physician. Yeah.
So, okey pala 'to, ngayon ko lang naintindihan ano, na this also targets those outside nga naman
Outside Canada
Canada.
can
So,
apply.
okey 'to sa mga doktor para sa Pilipinas. They can
Yes.
start working on securing all these and then apply, guys. Feeling ko
You
yeah,
can
you
land
would have a
you can land in Canada as a PR.
yeah,
Theoretically based on this, yeah. Without
wow.
having to kasi ang struggle ng mga nag-a-apply ng PR kadalasan from outside Canada, ang struggle nila is sino bang employer ang magtitiwala sa akin?
Yeah,
Kasi
yeah,
siyempre,
yeah.
'di ba? Siyempre understandable ang employer gusto kang subukan. Gusto nila yung mga nandito sa Canada, 'di ba? Pero sila dahil, meron silang privilege na dekada ng pag-aaral at pagpapa-certify at
Oo.
nangangailangan tayo rito sa Ontario ng mga
But
doktor natin, yeah.
teka muna Dayanara, hindi pala requirement na kapag ikaw ay maging member ng College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario na nandito ka practicing in Ontario, hindi siya
It
gano'n?
could be, yes, kasi most colleges would allow for those outside to apply. Again, from my
Oh,
experience sa OCT, they
oh.
require.
Oh, sige.
Yeah.
Oh, basta guys i-research niyo diyan, kung tama yung sinasabi namin ni
O
Dayanara
kaya
tungkol
o
dito sa
kaya mag-a-apply din 'to miss dun sa mga kababayan natin na doktor na nag-aral sa Canada, tapos naka-PGWP sila. Hi Luna, naka-PGWP sila ta's tinatiyagaan nila yung kanilang license habang
oo,
nandito sila. O, 'di
I
'pag
see.
nakuha nila, go, 'di ba?
Right.
Hopefully
Oh.
may gano'n. Update niyo po kami sa mga kababayan nating
Oo
nag-a-apply.
nga, oh, but I mean, gosh, I would love to see more Filipino doctors
Filipino
grab this opportunity.
doctors!
Pinatayin na naman ako ng ilaw. Luna, turn it on. I would love to see more Filipino doctors grab this opportunity. Why not?
Yes! Kasi
Oo.
'di ba laging sinasabi sa ang Canada unfair kasi doktor ka ta's nag-u-Uber ka or
Yeah, yeah,
doktor
yeah.
ka tapos ganito ginagawa mo. May paraan
Mhm.
para 'di ba, para 'pag tsinaga mo, 'pag dinaanan mo yung kailangan mong daanan, there's a way.
Yeah.
I think recently lang may draw, 200 points lang yata yung cut-off for
Diba?
physicians with Canadian work experience sa express entry. So, as you
I
can see
see.
talagang priority, nasa taas ng priority levels ang mga kababayan, ay ang mga kasama nating physicians, doctors. We need you in
Yeah,
Canada.
I know. Pag ikakalat ko 'to 'no, sa mga kakilala kong doktor sa Pilipinas.
Opo.
Okay,
Naku, naawa
anyway,
naman ako sa Pilipinas lalo na mauubusan ng doktor.
ay naku. Okay, so na-discuss na natin guys ano yung tatlong categories under again this new Ontario workforce priority stream, but let us clarify. In-announce pa lang siya ngayon, wala pa talagang portal existing for this. You have to
Wala
wait for
pang
it
scoring
again.
system,
Oo.
hindi pa po kayo pwede gumawa ng profile.
Yeah.
Ang masasabi ko lang siguro to prepare is speak to your employers. Yun
Mhm.
ang pinakamahalaga kong pwedeng i-advise sa mga kababayan natin na gustong makagawa ng profile agad. Number one, determine eligibility,
Mhm.
whether you want to do it on your own or you have an immigration consultant. I know for me, I'm already receiving emails from clients na eligible ba ako, ganyan-ganyan. So I would be responding to those. Sana yung iba ganun, may ganun silang access, or kung if you want to determine eligibility on your own.
Right.
Yun yung una. Determine if you're eligible. Number two, speak to your employer. Inform them that the existing EOIs, the existing job offers will all be withdrawn and they
Yeah.
will have to provide you with a new one.
Yeah.
So, that will happen quite soon. Siguro ngayon ginagawa lang nila yung portal. But
Mm.
it will happen quite soon. Very important to determine if your employer is eligible.
Yeah.
Meron ba siya nung certain threshold for income? Meron ba sila nung number of Canadian citizens and PRs na employed sa kanila? Marami tayong mga kababayan na na-invite. Nagkaroon na ng invitation to apply. Bandang huli, hindi pala sila eligible kasi hindi pala full-time yung mga workers ng
Mm.
mga employer nila. Tapos, hindi pala sila pwedeng tulungan.
Right.
Ngayon pa lang po alamin nyo na kasi sayang yung time na nandyan kayo sa employer. Kung hindi naman pala sila pwedeng mag-assist sa inyo, I understand meron tayong loyalty as
Oo.
Filipinos sometimes, pero kung hindi po kayo pwedeng tulungan, magpakatotoo tayo at magpaka-practical tayo,
Mhm.
kailangan natin yung pwede tayong tulungan.
Right.
Okay?
Okay. Speaking of the EOIs, nabanggit na ni Dayanara, no? I will read that portion
Opo.
mentioning that. Okay. So, EOIs and job offers registered under the former streams na wala pang invitation, you will have to apply. Wala pang invitation to apply will
Yes.
be automatically withdrawn, as mentioned by Dayanara, in the
Yes.
coming weeks. Okay?
Yes.
While the EOI and application platforms are updated.
Yes.
Tapos, makakakuha daw kayo ng notice directly sa inyo. Email to usually, Dayanara, I guess.
Email, yeah.
Yes.
So
Okay.
usually they would I would be receiving the emails for my clients as a representative.
Mhm.
Employers would be receiving emails then dun sa mga job offers na meron sila sa platform nila. And ganun din kung ikaw ay nagdi-DIY, matatanggap mo siya directly. The good thing is yung mga employers na naka-register na. So
Yeah.
nakapasok na sila sa portal, meron na silang account and all. Hindi na nila kailangan mag-register ulit.
Aha.
Okay? Once the employer portal reopens, they will just have to submit a new job offer
Yan.
and a new application for a certain employee na meron sila, and then bibigay nila ulit yung detail na yon, yung number na yon dun sa empleyado, and then the employee will have to create a new EOI.
Right. And also, don't worry, yung meron namang pending applications na, no? Noon, na-invite na kayo, nag-submit kayo, it will continue to be assessed according to this
Based on the old
Yes.
rules.
Based on
Okay?
the
So don't worry, it will be assessed. I still continue to receive nominations.
all right.
Actually, yeah.
Okay.
So no worries, it will be processed. Kung tama ang ginawa ninyo, walang problema sa application po na ginawa ninyo, it will be assessed uh you know, subject to the old rules po.
All right. Okay. Ayan guys, phase 1 pa lang po ito. Merong isa pang press release actually, hindi ko na ipoput up mentioning that later this year, 3 other streams will be launched. Again,
Ito na yung
one,
if I were to guess, this will probably be the entrepreneur one.
okay.
and then the one for express entry, OYNP express entry. Itong mga binabanggit natin na to, itong unang tatlo, most like these are all non-EE
All right.
pathways.
Okay.
We're still waiting for the express entry option, yung ipapalit nila sa human capital priorities. And then yung entrepreneur option na sinasabi nila. And then there's also the one for talent. Yung sinabi nila yung
Yeah.
specific talent, creative talent, yung mga merong siguro may ilalabas sila na para doon sa mga nasa academia, so yung mga master's graduates, PhD graduates, yung mga
Right.
nasa research, scientific, whatever. I
Oh.
think they would release streams for that. And I don't know if they would release a specific French stream.
Naku po,
Baka yun yung mawala. Kasi sa nakikita ko ang ibang provinces, like BC, like Alberta, wala na silang specific stream for French eh. Wala silang ganun.
ini-incentivize na lang ang
Ini-incentivize
provincial
na lang nila
PO.
based on the score.
Right.
Pero hindi na sila, parang I think they're leaving the French draws to the federal government. Baka
Right.
gano'n na. Baka parang ano nila, sobrang dami ng dinodraw ng federal government sa French.
Totoo
Yung
din.
aming allocation, hindi na namin ibibigay para sa kanila. We would parang reserve it for talent that we need. I think that's very smart.
Right. Ako rin, no, I think so too. All right. That is it. Thank you so much, Dayanara, for being here again.
Problem
O, diba,
at
guys,
all. As promised, pinangako ko yan.
O, di ba, meron pa tayong next phase. Okay, so si Dayanara will always be here basta pag OYNP ang ating.
Apo, at para sa mga kababayan po nating nagdadasal, ito na, dumating na. I love that I didn't see a lot of exemptions. Marami tayong mga kababayan na pwede pa rin pumasok. Karamihan sa ating mga kababayan pumasok. Opo.
Oo. Yung tier 4 and 5, Dayanara, no? I mean, it's a positive thing.
It's a positive thing.
Lahat ng no codes pwede. Right?
Yun ang nakakatuwa kasi yun yung kinatatakot ng iba na baka hindi na kami kasama kasi tier 4 or 5 kami. Kumbaga hindi kami priority, ganyan. Ang mai-advise ko lang po is kung kayang pumunta sa mas maliit na lugar, Northern Ontario, rural areas, go for it. Kung kayang umalis sa GTA, go for it. Kasi I think that will not change. They will always prioritize smaller communities, rural areas. If you can be in those areas, go for it. At least sa labas ng GTA. Ang GTA po ay malaki. So ang GTA ay as far as Burlington is part na pa rin ng GTA. Tapos Clarington sa kabilang side. So Oshawa, Ajax, lahat yan ay GTA pa rin. So, naiintindihan ko na syempre, yun yung mga area na develop, may maraming trabaho. Hindi lahat ng tao pwedeng magstay sa mga area na yan. So, kung kaya ninyong i-prioritize yung paglipat, go. At huwag masyadong magpaka-late sa pagpapakonsult. Kung gustong magpa-consult, ito ang pinaka-disappointing para sa akin, yung isang taon na lang yung natitira, saka pa lang kami magkakausap. Kapag nakakuha kayo, nakagraduate kayo, mag-apply na po kayo. Magpa-consult na po kayo. And kung balak pang mag-aral sa Canada, which is, sa nakita ko, merong announcement si Minister Diab regarding like retaining international student talent, ganyan. Kung gustong mag-aral sa Canada, may intention pa rin na mag-move sa Canada, have a consultation, and then, or consider going to rural schools and going towards occupations or industries na nandun sa priority list. Ayan. So, kung pwedeng ganon, iwasan na po natin ang pagpunta sa GTA at pag-take ng business programs.
Yeah,
okay? Iwasan na natin yan. Okay?
Thank you so much, Dayanara, for all your tips and insights.
No problem. I wish you all the best.
Thank
you,
you
Miss.
guys, and good luck to everybody. Hintayin natin yung iba pang mga streams later this year daw. Thanks, Dayanara. We'll end this episode here. Bye, guys!